Hey, y'all. This message today is don't compromise. We're not doing it over here, y'all. We're not compromising. So if you ready to stand 10 toes down and walk in the truth, stay and listen to the message. I'm going to read Psalms, the 119th chapter, the 1st through the 8th verse. Joyful are people of integrity who follow the instructions of the Lord. Joyful are those who obey his laws and search for him with all their hearts. They do not compromise with evil, and they walk only in his paths. You have charged us to keep your commandments carefully. Oh, that my actions would consistently reflect your decrees. Then I would not be ashamed when I compare my life with your commands. As I learn your righteous regulations, I will thank you by living as I should. I will obey your decrees. Please don't give up on me. Don't compromise. Y'all, I did a message back here last week, and the message was talking about how God was telling me to not to lie, to learn how to stand in the truth and to speak up. And after I did that message, he gave the same message to Apostle Murray, and he came right behind and preached that same message that I talked about. And I was talking about how God was telling me how to speak up, because I was telling a testimony where, God has delivered me from some things. And I had people, the things that God had delivered me from, it was somebody that just kept presenting that thing to me. When you are walked away from some things, and, some people try to offer that to you, and that's what they was doing. They were just constantly offering it to me. And it got to the point where I started getting upset. It started bothering me. So then God was telling, I talked about how God was saying, stop sugarcoating. Like, speak up and tell the truth. And I had to let people know, I had to let them know, I don't indulge in that anymore. Like, why is you keep presenting this to me if I don't indulge in that anymore? And I just started getting frustrated. And God was like, tell the truth and speak up. This not the time to compromise. This not the time to allow the enemy to creep in and try to take you back to things that God has delivered you from. And I was saying that God was telling me, stop trying to protect people's feelings. When they sitting up trying to take you back into a place that I have delivered you from. And God was telling me to speak up. And y'all, I was like, no. Like, stop presenting this to me. That ain't nothing but the enemy. When things is being presented to you that even people even know you've been delivered from. And the enemy will use people and send people your way and try to present that very thing to you to try to take you back. Satan, get out my face. And I spoke up. And I had to put a stop to it. Because I had to recognize it wasn't nothing but the enemy. And the enemy used people. This ain't the time to compromise. This is the time to stand 10 toes down, because the enemy trying to pull you back and take you away. Remove you away from the place that God has put you in. Y'all, we don't compromise over here. God gives us discernment where we can recognize when the enemy is trying to trick us. When the enemy send people trying to take you back to places that you no longer indulge in. You no longer entertain. And that's what I had to do. I just got to the point where God was like, you need to speak up. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of me. Don't be ashamed of the word. Don't be ashamed of the truth. Speak up. And I did. And I said, God, like God pulled me away from that. I don't do that no more. That's what I had to say. Like God told me I had to leave that alone. This ain't the time to compromise. This not the time to allow. Let me tell you something. Let me say this before I forget. The devil is conniving, tricky, a manipulator, a deceiver. So when the devil uses people, guess what? The people going to have the same traits of the devil. So the devil going to use people and send people your way to try to manipulate you and deceive you. And when somebody try to manipulate you, they will try to get you to do things that they want you to do. But this is not the time to go by the voice and by the beat of the man's voice. This is the time for you to keep following God and doing what God is telling you to do. Don't allow nobody to take you off your path because they feel like they know what's best for you. If God have told you to go that way, you go that way. No matter who telling you that. Father, mother, sister, brother, auntie, nephew, niece, I don't care who it is. Do not allow nobody stop you from doing what God has been telling you to do. Because right now, the devil wants you to stop, quit, go back. In other words, the devil wants you back. And y'all, we not going, no, that's not us. We not compromising. We over here, we not on the fence with nothing. Because God said either the light or the darkness. You got a choice to choose. And over here, we choose the light. We not riding the fence over here. We not in between. We choosing the light. We choosing God's way. So we standing 10 toes down over here. You know, that's my word. We standing 10 toes down over here. We don't care what you saying. You know, I say, hey, what they got to do with me? If I'm not making my own decisions, if I'm not making my own choices, what makes you think that I will allow people to come in and make decisions for me? No. I'm not even making my own choice. It's God's way with my life. So ain't no way I'm ready to sit up and let the enemy sneak in and try to tell me you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and keep presenting things to me that I don't even do anymore. You got to recognize the trick of the enemy. What I tell y'all, get that no in your vocabulary and learn how to say no. And that's what I was saying on that video. I had to tell them, no, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not doing that. So if God telling you to speak up and tell the truth, you speak up and tell the truth. Don't be ashamed. Let them know, hey, I'm not doing what you want me to do. I'm letting God guide me. God is in control of my life, not me. So get out my face, say. Get out of my face. Learn how to shut it down. That's what God told me, y'all. He said, speak up and tell the truth. This ain't the time to be sugarcoating the word. This ain't the time to be pitter-patting around the word. Speak up. Tell the truth. Stop letting the enemy, what's my word? Stop letting the enemy try to manipulate you. Y'all, don't compromise. Bye, y'all.